In the ever-expanding universe of The Big Bang Theory and its spin-off Young Sheldon, fans have long awaited the development of certain plot lines, characters, and relationships. However, it wasn't until an unexpected Young Sheldon update surfaced that I found myself rethinking my stance on Georgie and Mandy's forthcoming sequel series. Up until now, I hadn't paid much attention to the idea of a spin-off based on the two characters. Georgie's role in Young Sheldon always seemed peripheral, and Mandy, though introduced with promise, hadn't fully convinced me as a character capable of leading a show. But all of that changed after an episode of Young Sheldon offered a surprisingly deep look into Georgie's life, shedding new light on his character arc and, in turn, making me excited for the upcoming project. A fresh perspective on Georgie Cooper. Before this update, Georgie Cooper, portrayed by Jerry O'Connell, felt more like a comedic side character than a focal point of the show. He was mostly the older, somewhat irresponsible sibling who occasionally provided comic relief with his immature antics. His relationships and decisions rarely took center stage, and much of his storyline in Young Sheldon revolved around his misadventures as he tried to live up to the expectations placed on him by his family, especially his younger brother Sheldon. His character was often treated as the foil to Sheldon's academic brilliance, someone who seemed more interested in the mundane realities of life than in the intellectual pursuits that defined his younger brother. However, in recent episodes of Young Sheldon, a shift occurred that changed the way I viewed Georgie. As his character grew older, he began to take on a more complex, multidimensional role. The writers began exploring his own aspirations, challenges, and flaws, giving him a depth that I hadn't fully appreciated before. This newfound focus on Georgie's character development made me realize that there's much more to him than the laid-back, somewhat clueless teenager we initially saw. The seeds for his transformation into a responsible adult, particularly in his relationship with Mandy, were planted in subtle, yet impactful, ways. In the latest updates from Young Sheldon, we learned about Georgie's early foray into fatherhood, his struggles with responsibility, and his desire to build a life of his own. This version of Georgie was far from the stereotypical slacker. Instead, he showed vulnerability, determination, and a willingness to grow. This character evolution is crucial because it laid the groundwork for the sequel series. If the spin-off follows this trajectory, it could explore how Georgie grapples with becoming a father while still trying to figure out who he is as an individual. Suddenly, his character became someone I wanted to watch more closely, and the potential for a compelling story about his transition into adulthood became clear. Mandy's role in the story. Alongside Georgie, Mandy also underwent a transformation in Young Sheldon. Initially introduced as a brief love interest for Georgie, Mandy quickly became a pivotal character in his life. Her unexpected pregnancy, coupled with Georgie's reluctance to fully accept responsibility, created a tension that could drive a more serious exploration of their relationship in the spin-off. In the latest Young Sheldon episodes, we saw glimpses of Mandy's own personal struggles as she navigated the complexities of becoming a young mother, especially in a family dynamic as unconventional as the Coopers. What stood out to me in these updates was Mandy's resilience. She wasn't just a passive character being swept along by Georgie's decisions. Instead, she was a woman who actively sought to take charge of her future, even in the face of uncertainty. This strength makes her an ideal character to anchor the spin-off series. If the show delves deeper into Mandy's life, her growth as a person and a mother, and her evolving relationship with Georgie, it could create a dynamic that balances humor with heart. What I find especially interesting is the potential for the show to explore the tension between their love and their differing goals. While Georgie may still be figuring things out, Mandy's more grounded and assertive personality could challenge him to step up in ways he hasn't before. Their contrasting approaches to life and responsibility could create the kind of dramatic tension that makes for great storytelling. The importance of family in the spin-off. One of the most intriguing aspects of Young Sheldon has been its exploration of family dynamics. The show has always placed a heavy emphasis on Sheldon's relationships with his parents, brother, and others in his orbit. However, what makes the potential Georgie and Mandy spin-off exciting is the chance to focus on a more unconventional, extended version of the Cooper family. By now, Viewers are familiar with the quirks and challenges of the Cooper household, but we haven't yet seen what Georgie's role will look like in the family structure once he becomes a father. With Sheldon off at Caltech and Mary and George Sr. dealing with their own family dynamics, Georgie's new family unit with Mandy and their child could serve as a refreshing change of pace. Georgie's evolution into a responsible parent could add a layer of depth to his relationship with Sheldon and the rest of the Cooper family. The spin-off could explore how Georgie's newfound responsibilities challenge his relationship with his parents and siblings, while also offering opportunities for comedic moments and heartwarming scenes. The blend of humor and drama that young Sheldon is known for could be extended into this new series, offering both fans of the original show and new viewers a reason to tune in. Moreover, seeing Georgie and Mandy navigate life as young parents provides an opportunity to explore a different aspect of family life. Instead of focusing solely on Sheldon's academic genius, the show could delve into the real-world struggles of raising a family at a young age, financial concerns, and the complexities of love and sacrifice. In a way, it would mirror the family dynamic we saw with Sheldon, Mary, and George, but with a fresh perspective from the viewpoint of a sibling who never had the same intellectual ambitions as Sheldon. An unlikely hero's journey.